What's up, everybody? Welcome to Bios3 Raw TV. Today we're going to, while Erin was making her food and prepping her meals, I decided to throw the camera on because we've been talking about doing this video for a little bit now, and that is not necessarily just couples, but people in general. When they see you doing stuff like she was just prepping a meal, and she goes, "Oh, you've probably seen people prep their meals before. We just moved in together, so this is why these different topics are coming up." And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she said, "You'd be surprised." Well, tell them what you said.
Just you'd be surprised how many people react so poorly to...
Why are you holding that knife like that?
I'm holding it down. People just react really poorly when they see me meal prepping.
Like what? Like what do you mean by react poorly?
Well, they say things like, what are you doing, and why are you being so OCD about this, and why can't you just live your life, and you worry too much, and...
Well, show them what you have. Like basically you have, so you're prepping bags with rice in it, with like a quarter cup of rice, which is your carbs, and then
it's just chicken.
They've got grilled chicken. So there's a place we have here called Wegmans. I don't know if they have them all over the country, but it's just here.
Chicken.
But they grill the chicken with like herbs and stuff on it, and spices already grilled. So you have like grilled chicken rice.
Yeah.
You have like sweet potatoes is in your diet. Egg whites. I mean, they're actual quote unquote real food. But you'll have people actually say, "Why don't you just eat some real food for a change?" And it's like, what the fuck is real food? Like they're eating Oreos and fucking the most random shit, but they'll call this not real food. This is actually nutritious, micronutrient dense packed food, and they'll look at you and be like, "Oh, why can't you just do that?" And then we were on vacation up in Rhode Island, and she was gonna get up and go do cardio. She gets up like 2 hours, 3 hours before I was, and she's like, "I'm gonna do cardio." And I said, "Okay, cool." And she just kind of looked at me like I was gonna like freak out. And I'm like, "What the fuck is she?"
No one understands this.
So I guess
You're on vacation. Why don't you just sleep? What is wrong with you? And on. And why can't you just lay down? And why do you have to be like this all the time? And
so like first
of
all,
have to be like this?
You're gonna be up like 3 hours before him. So I didn't give a fuck if you're juggling chainsaws, going for a jog, fucking tying your shoe for 3 hours. The fuck do I care? But the second part is like that's just what you do. It's part of what makes you happy. It's part of like your daily life and your lifestyle. Like when we go to Cancun, there's a gym at the resort, but there's a place that Alex Rodriguez owns down there, which is like an awesome gym.
Yeah.
And I like to take a day to go down there and train because it's a badass gym. It's it's a fun time. People would be like, "Oh, it's not, it's a vacation. You should relax. Why are you doing that?" It just doesn't make any sense. And not so much with ex-girlfriends. Well, I guess with ex-girlfriends, 'cause I only dated like one other competitor, and other ex-girlfriends would actually get pissed at me, and you've had this happen to you too, where you'd go out to a restaurant and I'd order like a baked potato, chicken breast, and salad or whatever, and they would order whatever the fuck they order. Usually some kind of like random pasta or whatever, soaked in fucking Alfredo sauce or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
And they're like, "Why can't you just order something off the menu that's normal?" And I'm like, "What do you care? We're at the fucking restaurant together.
Right.
We're eating together. We're having the experience. What do you care if I don't want to eat, that other stuff?" And they get mad. They actually get pissed at you. And I had Harley, who actually is one of my clients. I talked to this week about something that had happened to him, and he had someone who was really trying to push food on him because they just wanted him to eat what they wanted him to eat.
Yes.
And it was like, what the fuck? Why? So the best thing I can come up with, and I don't know whether it's a fact or not, but the best thing I can come up with is the fact that when you're doing what she's doing right now, like prepping food, a lot of people don't do that. They're not going to do that. Like, they'll make dinner. Like, they'll have no problem making a dinner and having leftovers or whatever, but they're not going to make specific nutritious foods that have to be packaged and weighed out and stuff like that. They're not going to take the time to, go to a restaurant, order something different, and it actually makes them feel bad about themselves. They don't have the willpower to turn down the buffalo wings or whatever the fuck, they want to eat.
My favorite is, people go, "I know you're sitting there judging me for this bacon cheeseburger," and I'm completely shocked going,
Actually,
"I don't give a shit what you're eating. Honestly, if you're eating, cool. I don't give a shit."
When that person's saying that, what you're actually doing is thinking about something else because you don't even want to be there with them in the first place. So you're not even thinking about the food. You're not even thinking about being there to begin with.
I'm like, why do I honestly it's completely, I don't give a shit what they order. If they want to put ass on a plate, I don't care.
I mean, I've had that problem in relationships in the past too, where my ex would look at me and say, "Don't judge me for what I'm eating," and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. Like, how can you hear what's in my head? It doesn't make any sense.
They're judging themselves.
They're judging themselves, and they're projecting that on you. And they're trying to make you feel bad because they feel bad about themselves about what they're doing. Because essentially they're not happy about what they're doing. I think most people in general would like to lose a little bit of weight, lose a little fat, be a little tighter, gain a little more muscle, guys, girls, whatever. But they don't really want to go to the lengths of like this. And what's interesting is this She bought these foods already prepared at Wegmans. They actually have, where's the actual rice thing?
Yeah, they have they have a whole entire rice cooker. It's perfect, perfectly made rice. They have white rice. They have brown rice.
It's actually literally just steamed rice with nothing in it. You go up to the rice cooker yourself. You scoop it out. You put it in the thing yourself, and they weigh it, and you buy it like that. So it's literally just steamed white rice and grilled chicken. So it's not like she even had to spend the time cooking, like hours cooking and stuff. It's going to take her about 45 minutes to package all these meals for the next couple of days. And
but there's no excuse. I've done nothing but work, and I have not even been home for 4 days. So people are like, oh, I'm too busy to cook. It's cooked. It's already done. And just take it and weigh it and put it in a bag. You're fine.
There's food prep places too. That I use Nutrition Solutions, but there's other ones that don't have the type of like taste wise that Nutrition Solutions has. It's just plain food. So they'll have like plain white rice and stuff like this. And you'll hear people say stuff like, oh, it's too expensive. I don't want to do that. It costs $1 more per meal. $1 more. So if you're paying $4.99 a meal, you're now paying $5.99 a meal to actually save your time. Save yourself the time and the trouble of doing all this, and it's actually shipped to your house, packaged already. And even that they'll find an excuse on why that's not good. Oh, it's too much. Oh, I don't want to have my food shipped. The food might go bad. Like every excuse under the fucking sun. Well, guess how your food got to the fucking supermarket? It got shipped.
I just want to live my life. I don't want to worry about it. But then stop telling me 100 times a day how much you hate yourself. And like that's fine. Like hate yourself if you want to, but you can't be like, oh, Erin, live your life, and why aren't you eating all the Oreos? And I could literally walk upstairs at work, eat 2 packages of Oreos, which P.S. are in the cabinet for free. Don't even talk to me about this. And everyone would be like, right, I go upstairs, I eat my chicken and my rice, or my sweet potatoes or whatever, and they go, I see you're not eating real food again.
Right, which, what the fuck is real food? That's what, like, concerns me. Is even if you follow the stupid fucking food pyramid that's out there in the 4 food groups and shit, Oreos don't count as a fucking food or food group. Like they're not even on that. But they're calling stuff like meat, poultry, dairy, eggs, all that stuff, grains, oats and grains, all that stuff is actually on the fucking food pyramid, which has technically been jammed down our throats for the last 50 years. It's been taught in school, but that stuff is not, normal. It's normal to have shitty junk food.
Yep.
And if you don't partake in eating that stuff, like I was telling Harley on a Skype this week that there was a guy that I used to work with. His name was Jody. And Jody was a Musclemania pro. He was fucking in like a shirt. You couldn't tell that he was like built the way he was. When he was on stage, you were like, fuck. Or in the gym, he was like, holy shit, he's just shredded. So we were at a club one night, and Jody puts his hand in his pocket, and we're sitting at the bar, and he pulls a baggie full of rice out and a baggie out of the other one with chicken in it. And we're looking at it, what the fuck? And he takes a fucking spoon out of his fucking pocket, like a plastic spoon. We're like,
that is so
what the
freaking
fuck
awesome.
are you doing? And he's like, I gotta eat. So he ordered a water, and he said, he's drinking water at the bar and eating, right? You gotta eat. And I go, why the fuck are you doing like this? I was like, I would never, that's what I said. I said, I would never do that. This is back when I was in my early 20s, but I didn't have that mindset. And he looked at me and said, that's why I look the way I do, and that's why you look the way you do. Which is exactly the fucking point. But rather than getting pissed at him and be like, fuck, man, we're getting hammered over here, you're ruining our good time. Right. I was like, motherfucker, I want abs like that. Like, that's what ran through my head.
Right.
So you got to kind of put yourself into that mindset. Like, not everybody's going to agree with what you're doing. And some people are going to feel downright bad about themselves for it. But that doesn't mean that you have to give in. I think sooner or later, one of 2 things happens. Either those type of people wind up dropping off from your life because you have less and less in common with them in general. Or they just accept it, and then it fucking becomes not an issue. So, I mean, when we go out, it's pretty much the same things now. It's like salads, chicken, she likes to have filet, I'll have fish. I mean, it doesn't fucking matter. And most of the places we go, neither one of us are scared to be like, can I have the baked potato, like, plain on the side? Or you like to order your salad dressing on the side rather than them dumping it on it. Yeah. Stuff like that. Like, it just becomes normal. So, be aware, like, you're not alone out there. This happens all the fucking time.
Yep.
And it's not, like, an uncommon thing by any means. But, it's okay to stick to your guns and do what you want to do. It's your fucking life. biostraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. www.biostraining.com is a blog. Call it. What kind of bicep is it?
It's the eat whatever the hell you want to eat to fit your lifestyle bicep.
That was long.
I'm a talker.